and welcome to Hibbert's Hangout. Today on the channel we've got a game of Marvel Crisis Protocol, but we're doing something just a little bit different. It's going for a game that I've wanted to try out since the game first came out and I first got into it, which is going to be the airport scene from Civil War. So the threat for the rosters are actually going to be 21 threat. There's no crisis that currently supports that, but I just wanted to do this battle. So the crisis we've gone for is Riot Sparks over Extremis 3.0 and Panic Grip City as evacuation efforts continue. So I'll show you the squads and we'll get into the game from here. The threat for Tony's Avengers consists of the Vision, War Machine, Black Panther, Iron Man, Black Widow and Amazing Spider-Man. To try and keep things fair due to them not having a leadership bonus, I've decided that both teams will play under Avengers A Day Unlike Any Other, which is Caps, as to be honest I feel them having a civil war is a day unlike any other. Tactics cards for Tony's team include Follow Me, Tactical Analysis, Heavy Ordnance, Field Dressing and Eyes on the Prize. So Captain America's team in this 21 threat Civil War game is Ant-Man, Winter Soldier, the Cap himself Steve Rogers, Hawkeye, Captain America Sam Wilson / Falcon, and the Scarlet Witch. Tactics cards for Cap's Avengers is Avengers Assemble, Till the End of the Line, Pin Particles, Bird of Prey, and the Whims of Chaos. Here we are with the board set up for this game. We have our Extremis tokens on map D. We have one here, one over there, one at the back, and then one on top of the building. And then we've got our 4 civilians. One there, one at the back, one on the right hand side, and one down here on the corner on map B. Here we are after deployment. We have Black Panther on the left, Vision, War Machine, Iron Man, Black Widow, and on the right hand side, Spider-Man. Captain America's team on the left hand side, we've got Scarlet Witch, Ant-Man, Winter Soldier, Captain America, Hawkeye, and then Sam Wilson, Captain America. Starting things off for Tony's team is the Amazing Spider-Man. He's done 2 long advances, going to pay his power to steal the far civilian for his team. Sam Wilson, trying to secure another citizen for his team, has done 2 long movements, much like Spider-Man, to get within one of the far civilian from them, paying his power, and we'll pick it up. So we have everyone just running around the battlefield as Black Panther was up next. Did 2 long movements to get within one of the far citizen from them, paying his power to pick that up. Scarlet Witch was up next for Cap's team, and she sure made Black Panther pay for coming so close. Started things out with a Hex Bolt, which is 6 die. Got through for 5 damage with 2 skulls, so she inflicted Incinerate and Bleed. Followed up with a second Hex Bolt, which got through for 4, causing Black Panther to drop the civilian right there within 2 where you see him. So we had Vision going up next for Steve's team. I think I forgot to mention in the power phase, he chose to have enhanced density, and so he made a medium movement, paid a power to pick up the civilian, and then a second movement to get behind the building, so he has cover, but within 1 of the console. Hawkeye was next for Cap's team. He did a medium movement, then did a hook arrow to get on top of the building, shot a arrow shot into the back of Spider-Man, got through for 1 damage, but having a wild has inflicted shock on Spider-Man. Black Widow next up for Iron Man's team. Did 2 long movements to get her within 1 of the console. Tucked herself behind the building for some cover. Steve then went for his team, did a medium advance. Went to do a shield throw into the Amazing Spider-Man. And he was able to block all incoming damage. Iron Man's turn was pretty straightforward. He just did a medium movement and kept himself within 1 of their own Extremis console. Next up we had Ant-Man, who did a medium movement, spent his power and he's going to pick up that civilian, did a second medium movement to get within range of the Extremis console. Finally, for Iron Man's team was the War Machine. He just did 2 medium movements to get him within range to start shooting on his next turn. Finally was the Winter Soldier. He just did a medium movement to keep him within range of the Extremis console, but he managed to get within 5 of the Amazing Spider-Man, did an assault rifle, but Spider-Man was able to block all incoming damage. So here we are at the end of the round. The left-hand console is tied with Vision and Ant-Man. Iron Man has the far console, Winter Soldier has the close one, and the right-hand side console is tied between Hawkeye and Black Widow. So at the end of the round, we've got Captain America's team scoring 3 points, and Iron Man's team also scoring 3 points, 2 from the civilians, and 1 each for having a console. So as we head into round 2, Vision will be staying in enhanced density, and Black Panther will be flipping his card to the injured side. Black Panther getting us started in round 2. Started things off by paying 9 power overall for a kinetic burst, 3 for the attack and 3 to power it up. Did 9 damage to Ant-Man, causing him to drop the civilian, which Black Panther will spend his last power to pick up, and then he retreated away from Wanda Long to ace him behind the Bobcat. First up for Captain America's team was the Scarlet Witch. She spent a power for Avengers Assemble, which got her a short advance to there, and the second power spent by Captain America advancing him onto the top of that building. Scarlet Witch then did a medium advance to get within range of Black Panther. She did her cruel twist, and she got through for 9 damage, which kills the King of Wakanda. He drops the citizen there, and she's going to spend her last power to pick it up. Amazing Spider-Man was up next for Tony's team. He started things off by shaking the shot condition. Then he paid a power due to both teams having the a day unlike any other bonus to web swing, got within 1 of the console, and then followed that up with a spider strike into Hawkeye, which got through for 3 damage. Up next was Hawkeye, who did possibly the smartest thing, which was a medium advance down there, a second one to there, and then a hook arrow for 1 power to get him on top of the car, and then spent another power to interact with the console to remove 1 damage from himself, leaving him on 2. And for Tony's team was Black Widow. She got things started with a strike into Captain America Sam Wilson. He was able to block the incoming damage. She then spent her 2 power for a mixed technique. Cap then paid 1 for Vibranium Shield in hopes of not receiving any damage, so he didn't get staggered. However, Widow got through for 2 damage, therefore Cap is staggered. It was Sam Wilson going up next for Captain America's team. Had to start things off by shaking the stagger. He then spent his 2 power to play Bird of Prey, which meant he got to add 3 dice when he attacked someone who has flight, which he did with a shield throw into War Machine. And that got through, well, registers 5 damage, but when you look at the rolls, that's Sam's attack. That was War Machine's defense. Now Cap does have a push and then a ricochet, so we'll work that out and we'll be back with it after that. When I looked at the card, there is no push, it's after the attack is resolved. However, Iron Man was just barely within range 3, so he ricocheted into Iron Man, and that got through for 1 damage. Next up was Vision, who just did a medium movement to get within still 1 of the console to contest it with Wanda, and then for his second action, he just did a synthesis to gain 2 power. So then it was Captain America himself. He did a medium advance to get within 1 of the Extremis console, did a strike into Black Widow, got through for 1 damage, more importantly got the wild, so she's pushed away from the console short. Finally for Tony's side was the Iron Man himself. He did a medium move to get within range of War Machine with the hopes of being able to do field dressing. Just needed to get through 1 damage to get a power back. He did a repulsor blast into Captain America, who spent a power for Vibranium Shield and was able to block all the incoming damage. And to finish off round 2 is the Winter Soldier himself. He just did 2 medium advances along the centre of the board, trying to head to that Extremis console. So at the end of round 2, the left-hand console is tied with Vision and Wanda. The close console is under Hawkeye's control. The far one is no one's, and the one on the right-hand side is contested by Captain America and the Amazing Spider-Man. At the end of the round, Tony's team have 2 civilians, taking them up to 5 points, and then Cap's team are going up to 6, holding 2 civilians and their own Extremis console. As we go into round number 3, flipping over to their injured side will be the War Machine for Tony's team and Ant-Man for Captain America. So it was Vision getting us started in round 3. He again remained in the enhanced density phase. Started things off with a solar energy beam. Started by targeting Ant-Man, who spent a power to switch into tiny form. Did no damage. The beam continued into Wanda, which got through for 3 damage. Then Vision, from the power he generated and sapping one off of Scott Lang, was able to extract the civilian, taking Tony's team up to 7 points. He then did another solar energy beam, this time getting through for no damage, but sapping a power off of Wanda. Next up was Falcon. He started things off with a shield throw into War Machine, got through for 1 damage. He then did a charge, spending 1 power, but spent 2 for airlift. Himself moved on top of the building and airlifted Captain America up there with him. Did a shield throw again into War Machine, was able to block it, got the wild which ricocheted into Captain America, and he was able to block all incoming damage. And then Falcon also spent 1 to interact with the console to heal himself 1 point of damage, leaving him with only 1 done to him. It was the War Machine up next for Tony's team. He decided to do a empty the clip into the Winter Soldier with hopes of taking him out before he could get to their back objective. He did no damage, but managed to deal 2 to himself. He then tried it a second time due to him being left with 2 health. This time getting through for 5 necessary to daze Winter Soldier, but dealing another 2 to himself, knocking himself out. Captain America's Steve Rogers up next for the Avengers. He did a strike into Spider-Man, dealing 1 damage, got the wild, so he's pushed him off the building down to there. Then did a shield throw into Iron Man, that also got through for 1 damage. Some clarification, Cap has also spent his 1 remaining power to heal Captain America Sam Wilson his remaining point of damage. Next up we had the Amazing Spider-Man. He started things off with a web swing, so he was placed within 3 of his current position to get him just within 3 of Hawkeye. He then did a spider strike with those 2 extra dice, got through for 3 damage. Did a long move to get close enough to contest the console, paid a power to heal his remaining damage. So for Cap's team was Ant-Man. He started things off with an ant-sized uppercut, and he got through for 3 damage. He then spent 2 power to play their tactics card Pin Particles, so that Wanda could throw that Bobcat that was in range 3 into Vision, which got through for 4 damage, enough to daze him. Ant-Man then spent a power to heal 1 off of Wanda, and just decided to hang out there to claim the console. For Tony's team was Black Widow, who just decided to do 2 long movements to get in their own Extremis console range, spent the power to heal herself 1 damage. Finish things off for Cap's team in round 3 was Scarlet Witch. She interacted with that Extremis console to heal herself 1 damage, then did 2 medium movements to get herself with her own, spent a power and healed herself for her last damage. Finish things off was Iron Man. He spent 2 for Friday AI, and then another 2 for homing rockets into Sam Wilson, which got through for 3 damage, getting the wild explosive, dealing 1 to Cap, and then he did a repulsor blast into Captain America, getting through for another damage and pushing him away short. So as the board stands, on the left hand side there is Ant-Man claiming that Extremis console. The near side is contested by Scarlet Witch and Spider-Man. The far side is under Black Widow's control, and then Captain America Sam Wilson has the right hand side console, and the Amazing Spider-Man has 1 citizen, Cap Sam Wilson has 1, as does Scarlet Witch. Cap's team going up from 6 points to 10 due to having 2 consoles and 2 civilians, and Tony's team go from 7 to 9 due to having the 1 console, 1 civilian as we move into round 4. Flipping their cards is the Vision for Tony's team, Winter Soldier and Hawkeye for Captain America. Scarlet Witch getting us started in round number 4 for Captain America's team, and she continues to be an absolute beast. She spent 1 power for Whims of Chaos to inflict the Incinerate condition onto Spider-Man. Then she followed that up with a Hex Bolt, which got through for 5 damage and a bleed. And to finish him off, she then Hex Bolted him again, dealing the 1 damage necessary to daze him. And now has 6 power to pay to extract that civilian, taking Captain America's team up to 12 points. It was Vision getting things started for Iron Man's team. He did a Synthesoid Avenger attack into Ant-Man, who paid a power to change size to get rerolls. Got through for 3 damage. Then Vision did it a second time, this time rolled a lot better, which would have dealt 6 damage overall. So Ant-Man is knocked out. So I think we've got game just about there actually. Sam Wilson would have activated. He's got 6 power to evac the Citizen for an auto 2 points to put Cap's team onto 14. And then by their side, they've also got that one that Spider-Man dropped. Hawkeye sat on 7 power, so he could straight away just pick that up and evac it to take them up to the required 16 points. So I think in this Civil War battle, the winners decisively, which would be to a 16-9, is Captain America, Steve Rogers' team. Scarlet Witch again continued to show why she is just fantastic 5-point threat, wiping out Spider-Man as easily as that, as well as Black Panther. I thought it would have been a lot tighter game, with both teams using the A Day Unlike Any Other. But no, it was good fun. And thank you anyone for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks, bye.